Peep this W.O.M, season 3, efficient here, and I'm here with the fellas. I know it's hot out and the cloud is out, but we got some OJ. We got some things to talk about. So what's up, fellas?
What's good, man? How you doing?
What's good? What's good?
What's good? What's good?
I've been gone.
How you feeling?
I feel like
healthier.
Dajonte turned his back on the triangle society.
Nah, I didn't, baby. I
Turned
didn't.
his back on the triangle
It's still
society,
Illuminati, bro.
Oh, that one, but on camera, it's not Illuminati.
It's the Illuminati.
But it's not.
Illuminati. Well, listen, you got to do the camp first.
Nah.
We all
The camp got
voted.
shut down.
It was unanimous across the board.
Yeah, we sacrificing the fishing.
Yeah.
No.
We got raided.
Oh,
Yeah.
Whoa.
Got
Ice.
dark. But let's get back to it.
That's Selassie. He's like, yo, Selassie. I hear
He
you.
said
Got
it got
dark.
raided.
Oh my gosh.
Man.
This
But
wife
you
should
know-
subscribe to Peep this W.O.M.
Yo.
There was a.
Notifications.
Oh yeah, definitely. Turn on the
All that good stuff.
notifications.
Hit like.
Like, comment,
like.
subscribe. I like that intro, by the way.
Yeah.
And I just want to let y'all know, like, you know, we're winding down. Season 3 is here. We're finishing it up. And now we're going to season 4 soon. But guys, this is what I want to let you know, right? Real quick. This journey is always rough. But the journey also comes with a lot of obstacles, a lot of stress. And being that it has stress, I have this quote for you. And I want to know what you guys thought on it. So the quote is, people don't respect money that they don't work for. Again, people don't respect money that they don't work for. The floor is open.
First thing that comes to me is children. You know, I mean, just the idea that you buy stuff for your kids and, you know, they're like, oh, I hate you, Dad. I hate you, Mom. I'd be like, you know what I buy? Buy you a one-way trip to the ER. I'm just joking.
know
I'm
what?
just joking.
Just
I'm just joking.
Just joking.
Just joking.
Just joking.
It's a Family Guy joke. Why not? No, but in all seriousness, it's like, it's kind of childish in a way. That's,
So
But I think also we are just big children with lots of money.
okay.
why you say
Well,
that?
Like, aren't you? Most of the things you get, isn't that to satisfy the happiness and
inner
the joy
child?
of the inner child of who you are?
Okay.
I
So
can
it's
see
kind of
that.
like we are still that inner child satisfying. But you're right though. If you were to just give someone that extra cash, they're gonna sit on it just like a child would. I ain't got money. You know, the spoiled brat when you give them everything, and then they just act like that spoiled brat and cuss their parents out because they can. They feel like I have everything. You've given me everything. I have a surplus of whatever I want. It's never gonna stop. So at this point, why should I ever?
It's building a level of entitlement.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put
Saying
it.
that, oh, like I'm owed this and this is what it is and this is what it shall always be. But I also feel like too, you can argue it the other side too.
Oh, I'm down to hear this.
People could get money too, right, and have it and still not respect it too, and respect the fact of what they did to get it. Spending frivolously, living way above their means,
Yeah.
not thinking about tomorrow too at the same time. So it can also go both ways too. Not disagreeing, but I can
No, that's-
also
I like that
can
one.
also see the other side
But I
of it
also
too
see
as
this
well.
third side where there's like the
There's a third side.
Yeah,
Okay.
that cheerful giver who donates like, okay, I got a surplus of it, let me just give it away to people, you know?
Without
Like,
any regard of that this is finite and it should probably maybe not.
Yeah. You know,
Is
those
it
people-
finite?
I mean, I don't know nobody with
do we speak a lot about the abundant mindset too as well?
Oh, hell yeah, it's abundant mind.
Don't try to flip
every morning, abundance
to
and
flip
blessings.
this
Y'all gonna start talking about
Abundance.
manifestation.
It's
Right.
real. I
Hey.
called my clients out this morning. Hey, call me.
Grand Rising
Call me.
clients. This is efficient here.
Dang.
That's exactly how it sounds.
Why you trying to go after my man?
That's exactly how it sounds. Call me for the duck cleaning.
Oh gosh. But what do you buy? What
for
about
me,
you, Makai?
like, I think when I thought about this quote, I really believe it. I believe it, and here's why. When you get money from somebody else, sometimes there comes this level of entitlement. You didn't work to get it. So those people, sometimes you start looking for the handouts. Like you see rappers with their entourage. You see millionaires with their entourage. These entourage, a lot of them don't even do nothing, but they expect, he got a gold chain, go cop me one. He has this, go get me one. You don't work as hard when, I noticed that. If it's not your money, you don't work as hard. For some. Some other people put you, was like, yo, this guy's giving me opportunity, let's go.
I wanna stick on that for a second. You ever notice how, like, what you're saying is absolutely true, and pretty much everybody will agree with you.
Yeah.
Here's the caveat, and let's keep it just strictly within the black community. If you have that mindset, and somebody, like, let's say in the black community, when rich black celebrities get money and they don't want to give back, we call them greedy, we call them selfish, and then when they say like, oh, you need to work and earn yours like I did, then we call them a sellout, then we call them Uncle Toms. So what are we doing here? Hey, what's up? We got fans. Hey, that's what's up. Sorry guys, we got some fans. But no, seriousness, like what you're saying is absolutely true, but then why do we call successful black people that hold, I mean, for all intents and purposes, they're keeping the same energy? Why do we change on them?
Why do we change on them?
As a people, why do we, call them sellouts and do that?
I feel like really it's still that, I want, it's that covetousness, like from the biblical time. You know what I mean? It's that, well, they got something nice, I want it too. I don't like what the situation I'm living in is. Nobody's ever gonna like their situation they have. Everybody's gonna always see their gray cloud and their rain clouds and their drama and their, that stuff that's like keeping you from pushing through. Like we came in and you was like high energy. He was like, yo, looking good, y'all looking good, feeling good. It's how can you keep that high energy? Like a lot of people, misery loves company, bro. And when you stuck in that miserable, like we said before on other episodes, the hood has a lot of love, but the hood will also keep you down in some miserable times and miserable situations where it's like, okay, this is all we know to get out. And if we see it, we know that's the way to get out. But if we get out, like there's a lot of people watching me. I can't get out like that. You got to get out with the right. You got to move to get out the right way.
I call it sometimes the runaway slave mentality.
That's a good one.
The hood is the slave ship, right? And you're trying to escape.
That's that Amistad.
And I am not trying to look back when I escape sometimes.
I ain't trying to get back on Amistad.
Not everyone is Harriet Tubman trying to go back and free some more people. Sometimes when you free, the trauma that the hood has given you, you don't want to go back. What I would say that's messed up is maybe you can give from afar, but that's people here or there. But
I try to give from a venture capitalist point. That's it.
I would say that, and we've had many discussions about this before, and we said, listen, if opportunity comes and it happens and life changes overnight, best believe
I'm gone.
It's a wrap. Bye.
We're not sticking around. Then again, at the same time, too, is also how you carry yourself, too, at the same time. Yeah. Now, if I go and I can have all this stuff, and then next day I'm like, I'm about to roll in the hood with the Rolls Royce. Like, what do you expect? You can't be dumb. It's just like that prime example with Nas. He was shooting a video with, he wanted to shoot a video with, what was the guy's name from Murder, Inc.?
Ja Rule?
No.
Gotti?
Gotti. He's like, yo, you think it'd be a great idea? We got all the Benzes and all this stuff while we eating fried chicken in the hood. And I was like, I don't know, that's not too smart. And you have to be mindful of that at the same time. Like,
You're wearing stakes around the walls.
Yeah, like, you got it, but you're around people who have scarcity and don't have it. So what do you think's gonna happen? It's always been perpetual for them to kill us. I'll say it many times, and I said it many times before. I be scared of the police. I be scared of the white people. I damn sure be scared of my own people.
Your own shadow?
My own shadow. I'm like, whoo, looking over my shoulder, like.
And brother, come to me. I'll set you up at LLC. That's what the fish is doing over here.
And think about it. Someone, you could have less. You can have less than that drug dealer in your hood. Absolutely. And he's still going to ice grill you like he want to kill you.
I think.
I didn't mean for that to rhyme.
No.
When you're around the wordsmith, man.
I love a good rhyme. I think what we need to start doing as a society more is not only teaching us to respect people with money, but teaching us to respect ourselves and the hard work it takes to get there. Recognizing that, you can work super hard and still not get what you want. I'm not there yet. But that's why it's like, that person's rich, but it's like, I'd rather have my own. I don't want what they have. I want that for me in my own unique way. And stop idolizing people for
whatever. Just to flip and spin it, you're saying like whatever would be you deem as your success.
Yes.
Right? Pretty much.
We have to transfer from this mentality of just give me instead of looking for the opportunity. Like, listen, person has money, he could say, come work for me. Get an opportunity there. Learn something instead of where's mine. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't. Yeah.
Quick to not factor in.
Exactly.
The blood, like, yo, that's why
Even if it was luck, it's his luck.
And that's the best luck.
It's not your luck.
it's his luck. And it's
Luck's
like,
up for
yo,
everybody. It runs through the community. Money
it's
has
like,
to
yo,
circulate.
like, people get bled for this or whatever, but it's like, you don't even know what this guy or this woman worked hard.
The
They
rap
worked
version-
hard, blood, sweat, and tears to get what they own and have.
In rap terms, it's the equivalent of, yo, can I get a record deal? Like, can I get a record? What did you do to work for it? Like, what did you do to earn it? Can I get a record deal? Imagine you go to your boss and be like, and I guess I'll wrap it up after this. Like, imagine you go to your boss and be like, yo, can I get another paycheck? Like, heck you do for it, though.
Right.
Work
I ain't
for
gonna
it.
lie. I just need you to go online and look up, tax codes and set your business up.
So what I would say here, before we go on to the social,
Yes.
I would say that be mindful of your circle, and be mindful. You should start evaluating who is who, and those who are looking for handouts, be wary of them, because those are the ones that's gonna keep on coming. Rather look for the person who wants the knowledge and the opportunity more than let me hold $100, let me hold $2.
And let me add to that. Always pay attention and notice when things start getting good, they be the same ones with their hands coming out to you. Same ones. Oh, things are looking good, whatever.
Trust, when we travel, they all got money, so I ain't never
No, I
worried.
don't. I ain't got a
ain't
dollar.
never worried.
No,
Yeah,
don't-
right,
no,
you
I
came
don't.
to Canada, had a bomb time, bro. Don't throw him under the
no.
Let me
bus.
tell you, they don't call him.
set.
Listen, hold on.
I'm Cheapy McGee.
Listen,
Hey,
they
he
don't
was on
call,
the trip, though. He was there. He pulled up. I ain't mad at him.
They don't call this wise guy for nothing, man.
I'm cheap.
They don't call him wise guy for nothing.
I'm cheap, but you know what isn't cheap? The social.
Yes,
Yeah.
the social. And
Nice,
speaking
nice.
of, thank you for that. Thank you.
You
for
know I
that.
gotta do that. Like, I gotta
I
help.
got you.
And speaking of, we definitely have a social today that's gonna usher in. That's a preview of what this episode will entail. And I just wanted to leave it with a question. I wanted to lead it off with, why do you think mental health issues amongst men are getting worse? And I feel like this social media clip right here is a prime example of a lot of the hurt and burden that men do go through.
I can't move on. I can't move on. I won't allow myself to move on. Because you're all I want. I don't want nobody else. I don't love nobody else. I don't want my body, my soul, and my heart to belong to anybody else but you. It doesn't feel right to even speak to another person, to get to know anybody else, to even look in their direction. Everywhere I go, every second, I think of you. It fucking sucks. I can't move on and I won't. I promised you to stay beside you for the rest of our lives. We're that old school love back in the 50s and 60s. Not this fucking stupid ass generation, baby. It's us against the world. And I will always remain that in my head. That will always stick in my head every day to the day I die. It's us against the world.
Before we go on, can I ask a question?
Go ahead, ask, shoot away.
I'm gonna get this one joke off, just because. I'm sorry, I gotta get this joke off.
Get it
We
off.
mentioned it.
Man's this mix of energies.
Sorry, I got.
Yo, for real.
He said he likes that old school love at the 50s and 60s, right?
Yeah.
What did you guys ever heard of a show called The Honeymooners?
Yeah.
What did he say?
To the moon, Alice.
To the moon, Alice. To the moon, Alice. Just saying. I don't know about
That's
that. 50.
one aspect of it.
One.
It's definitely indicative of the time.
Okay.
Just saying, but
All
with
right.
my humor out the way, I'm done now.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I love Lucy. She had her friends
You
too.
can see Wise was Ike in his past life. He was Tina Turner in these big.
Hey, Ike was around in the 50s and 60s. Just saying. The 50s and 60s, though.
Okay.
All right, enough jokes.
So what you were saying?
So I wanted to know, have you guys ever been through this kind of hurt or pain or trauma? Or also, Tom would like to add, where do you think that deeply stems from?
I think that
Go ahead.
I think that stems from being vulnerable with someone who aligns a lot with your morals, values, and how you were raised by your own mother. And you saw that, because that sounds like who we lost. There was a consciousness of alignment. Like, there was alignment where like he said, in this world, the next, this is forever. It just seems like his energy. I get it, but I see where it comes from a pain of like just being so open and falling. What you would say is giving everything, your past, present, future to someone. Okay, this is what the plan is moving forward. This is what I'm working on. This is what I love to do. This is what I enjoy.
With somebody.
Building, yes. Building, establishing, evolving with someone. When you start to evolve, the little things that you start to change, but you also love each other. That's hard. When you evolve with someone and the evolution's happening, and it's like y'all still sparking together, that's mystical. That's not real. That's not normal. That's why I said it's not this new generation. They don't have that.
Could I take it a step further to what he said?
Yes.
Take it, baby.
Take it a step
All right.
Take it, baby.
So it's when men reach a vulnerability, not even, this is a step further, not even the alignment of the woman on your level or your agreement, but when you love a woman so much, you go into protection mode, you go into survival mode, like
true.
dang,
You're very
like your
invested.
mind starts to go, dang, I love her enough that I will die for her. I love her enough that I'm gonna provide for her. So if she leaves or anything, when a man gets to that point, even if she leaves, the love you have, because once we make that click, it's hard to go back.
Make that decision.
We make that decision. We say, here and now, I am loyal, I'm riding to the very end. So when a woman walks away, like how he's feeling that pain,
pain.
you feel it deep because
That's deep trauma.
men give it their all when they switch that switch.
And let me ask you a question too. Do you honestly believe, comparing, if it may sound biased, but who do you think loves the hardest?
Ooh.
Out both genders.
Ooh.
Women love first, men love the hardest. I would say. That would just be, I'm not saying men can't love first, but men love the hardest.
Isn't there a biblical verse that supports this as well too? You always say it all the time.
Which one?
Well, I think it was on where Christ said, "Love your wives as Christ loves the church."
Right.
Oh, yes,
And,
that one,
and
yes.
he made that ownership because women are naturally nurturing for the most part. He gave them this call because when a woman loves Christ, when a man loves Christ, his wife,
woman, yes, his
like
wife.
he loves the church, that means he's willing to sacrifice and die for the church. So find that woman you're willing to sacrifice for. That's what the verse is leaning towards.
Exactly.
And so I feel his pain.
I do feel that pain.
Wise?
What about you, wise guy? Have you ever experienced any kind of
Yeah, like
heartbreak
that.
like this before?
He made a song cry.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Long time
Sipping
ago.
sages.
What I think, I'll go.
Bring those tears back. No, I'm just
Listen, man, you're gonna cost me some money. Listen, I'm an actor. Hey, hey, you learn a lot in camp. I didn't say I went there. I just said you learn a lot in camp.
I mean, that's
I didn't say I
applying.
went there.
Ladies camp?
No, I didn't say that.
No.
Took you for
It's
bed
another
camp.
camp.
Oh.
It's another
Sleepaway
camp.
camp.
Sleepaway camp.
But in all
With
seriousness,
Diddy.
And a group of
I
others.
keep telling you about that. It's a Illuminati camp.
Oh,
But,
right. Okay, gotcha.
I'm gonna go the unconventional route. This is something that I've been noticing more recently, especially in the last year that I've been in therapy. I'll say one reason why a lot of men are so much more visibly hurt nowadays, I'm going to say, is the overconsumption of media telling you that you're hurt.
That's true.
For an example, we'll take it on a political spectrum. We'll talk about politics in another episode.
So what you're implying is subconscious programming, in a sense.
In ways, yes. So just like this, if you see something every day telling you that these people are bad, that they're making you feel bad, that they're the reason why everything is wrong in your life, if you constantly see that all the time, and then all it takes is one situation for that to be slightly right, and now you're snowballing down that path of believability. And now you're consuming this more. Now that you're consuming it more, people are making it more, which makes you believe it more. So there's a lot of overconsumption of pain media that is making people, I want to say it's galvanizing them to feel more hurt than they probably would sometimes if they just disconnect. But before you go, I want to say it's not saying that this pain doesn't exist. It's not saying that the pain doesn't exist. But if somebody's constantly telling you, but you don't feel right? Yo, you look a bit pale, you look a bit sad. You sure you're okay? You sure everything all right? Yo, you don't look good. you start to believe it after a while.
Or maybe they're seeing something in you that you're not seeing in yourself because you're suppressing it.
Definitely not
That's
ignoring
another one.
not ignoring
Yeah,
that.
that's another
I
one
acknowledge
too,
it,
but
yes.
I've noticed my algorithm doing exactly what he says. It does feed to a pain level.
It shows you only
If
what you consume.
Yep, and it
Only
will
what you
constantly
consume.
show you what you're consuming. So if you don't click on that and click for something else, search for what you really need and want, then you'll start finding algorithms that feed your needs. I search for all my Myron Goldens and all my business entrepreneurs, my
And that's what it
billionaire
shows
quotes.
you.
So you know,
Right.
all of our trip guys, our yacht guys, because that's where we're going to be on our boats. So there's obviously an algorithm switch that you have to do. Please do it and switch over to here.
But that's just the unconventional route. Like that's the high level.
I like that.
But sorry, you want to
But at the same time, could you also think too? It could also be he's probably wearing rose tinted glasses.
Absolutely. I mean, how many times have we talked on the show about the fact that how many times, like keeping it on young men, how many times are we actually taught as young men to not over romanticize the relationship? Just take the aspect of when you start getting into music as a teenager or a young adult and you start listening to all these love songs and all this other stuff like, I need a girl to ride. And then you start listening to this nonsense and then you're thinking that, dang, I need a girl. And then you start feeling sad because you don't have a girl. Then you start feeling worthless because you don't have a girl. And then you don't understand the fact that sometimes people just don't like you just for whatever reason. But then they start telling you, oh, the girls don't like you because they want the football player. They want the jocks that are going to imprint on them. And they don't want you because you're a nice guy.
And so to switch over from feeding for that, you just gotta take that rod
That's
that
gonna
you
make for a
fishing
great
with
clip,
and
that's
throw
for
in a
sure.
different pond. You gotta fish
I love
somewhere
that
different.
voice impersonation. That was really good.
voice.
That was really good. That was
But,
spot on.
but
Okay. Pushback.
it still leads with in this video,
In this video.
I would say this is more of a vulnerability. I'm at my wit's end. Because, man, when you invest so much in women, and this is, I'm not trauma speaking. This is actually living life, seeing it heal, moving on. When you invest in somebody and you say, this is my person, and that person might have questions about the relationship, knowing that you gave your all. They have questions about your leadership, knowing that you're trying your best, maybe talking about your finances because somebody else better is talking to her.
Yep.
You feel that hurt. Sometimes we bottle stuff in and then we end up like this. I know many men who've been through this scenario, and it's not a bad thing.
But I have to put some of the blame on the guy because if you're dealing with somebody that breaks you down like this, it's your responsibility to do something about it. Because how many times do we?
That's why love hurts. I'm sorry, keep going. We're going to battle.
No.
Well, keep going. Keep going.
Because how many times do we talk about women that stick in crappy relationships with men that are clearly not for them and that are abusing them, not necessarily physically, but clearly don't value them? We berate what? How many times you done seen online when it's like, well, why are you staying for him? Why aren't you holding yourself accountable? I got to keep the same energy.
Just
only because you took it down that way. That's all.
only
because you took it
I
down
will
that way.
only say this, like, yes, I agree. Why did he stay? But when you're in that state, bro, sometimes all human logic, what men are known to have, sometimes goes out the window, and you end up like this. What about
I'm
you, bro?
gonna come back on that
Listen,
later on at some point in
yeah.
life in the podcast. But go on.
At the
My bad.
same time, he's a human, and I can feel his hurt and his pain because I've been there before. I've been in his position before, so I know what it feels like. And you brought up really good, valid points too, because
Very valid.
very valid points
Yeah,
because it made me think back to when I was like, you know what? There were certain things that I saw that I didn't acknowledge, but I knew in the back of my head, this is a sign that this is not a good thing. But because you get so caught up in the dopamine and dealing with her, you don't take time to like really pull yourself out of like that in drug-induced state, you know, of love, you know, the oxytocin and the dopamine, the feel-good hormones and stuff. Then you don't really take that time to assess, is this thing really going how it should be going?
Were you
Is
ever
it really
taught, though?
healthy? We were never really taught.
That's what I
So
keep coming
Nobody
back
was,
to.
I don't think
biggest-
none of us were taught relationship
and-
loss and how to deal with relationship
and
loss because we were
because-
taught to stay away from relationship period.
Relationship loss is equivalent to that of a death.
Yeah.
It's very traumatic.
Exactly.
Grieving over the relationship.
It's very traumatic. It's like a
Absolutely.
death. You've built a world with this person, and all of a sudden, like that, you know, it's just snatched from you. But I don't want to stay on this too long.
I just want to say one
Go
more
ahead.
thing.
Yeah. Hold on.
No, one more thing.
Get them to the people.
Coming
to
for your
see.
neck like
Get the
Wu-Tang.
people to see.
I still believe, though, at the end of the day, you do need to control your emotions. Remember, we talked about it.
Of course,
like
yeah,
this.
absolutely.
But
Like 3 episodes ago.
This is
That's
control.
control.
This is natural.
That's
I'm just
control.
saying.
This is healthy. This is a healthy coping skill.
You have to let it out and don't dwell on it.
I would
Yeah.
rather-
Whether you do a video, cry, it's a healthy coping skill.
But this is what happens when it's built up and it doesn't get the chance
Right.
to release.
Yeah,
That's just
yeah.
an example.
But that's,
that's
still 1,000 times way better than him just airing it out on somebody or
Right.
going to go physically harm someone
Right.
or physically harm himself.
So after the
That's
loss,
a lot
after
more
the
better
loss,
still.
what are some of the healthy coping skills after the loss? We obviously know. Go to the gym, get a routine, get around loved ones, share your time with others that make you feel good again.
Remove yourself from people that don't have your best interest in mind.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, it's easier said than done if you have like families and children together.
Yeah, but it won't
I-
boil up like that.
I think to add on to that, and just to keep it quick because we're hitting the halfway mark, I think to add to that is really learn to sit with yourself and listen to your inner voice. Develop that thing called intuition. When you know something is off, something is off. Best believe it. It will not stir you wrong.
When
Check
Mercury is in
on it.
retrograde, don't go out
Yes.
chasing shorties.
And when this house is when the 7th house is in Aquarius, you hit a wise guy. 'Cause
Don't talk to me, bro.
That's the Aquarius, man.
Don't stop it. Stop lying.
Illuminati.
Stop lying. Stop
And
lying.
you know what else?
And Black Power. No,
Oh, now we definitely not gonna get sponsorship.
Yeah.
You know what else we gotta
wow,
hit
that's
up?
messed up.
What we
You
got
couldn't
now?
get Black sponsored?
We gotta hit up Efficient for the second social.
Yes,
Oh,
we
yeah,
do.
because the second social is exactly what you said, dealing with our emotions.
Perfect.
And dealing with our emotions is something we talked about before. So I saw this social as older man, younger man in the coaching atmosphere. And I just wanted y'all to see what it was about.
All right, let's see.
Let's roll the clip.
What's hurt? What you feel? Tears saying something else. Is this something you're just uncomfortable with? You need to push through?
I'm just having a bad day.
Good. So that's emotion. Look at me. That's good. I appreciate the honesty. You're having a bad day, but you can't let that affect this moment. I had a bad day today, but I can't let it affect this moment. I gotta be present for you, because I love you. I want you to overcome this. So I gotta put all that stuff aside. That's big stuff that you admitted that. Grown men don't even do that. But they say it's all good all the time. So you acknowledge that and release it. You got it? Good. Release it. Get back in. Oh, Jay. Hot out. Good job, boy.
Yo, beautiful, beautiful social.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to take a stab at it right away. I think what he said was so profound in a sense because that is the very thing going back to the prior social of learning how to deal with certain things as men. That is what's really needed. It's funny because it's almost like a paradox. It's like men are told, don't talk about how you feel. The moment they talk about how they feel, they get effeminated. You know, they get looked down on and stuff. But it's like when you really think about it, you're conditioning him to be almost like a sociopath. He's just someone who's quiet, he's reserved, he's keeping everything to himself. You have to express how you feel. You can't keep that bottled up. That's not healthy. So, great commendament to this coach. I forgot his name, I feel bad. But he does great, amazing things. He has a great page. And I've been following it just recently for some time. But I think that's amazing. He's not saying, well, just say it and whatever, woe is me. He's saying, you know, say it, push through it, get through it, still at the same time, but still express and let people know what it is and how you feel. Let people know your state, because we get too caught up into the small talk kind of culture. Oh, yeah, I'm good, I'm fine. That's what everyone says. Oh, yeah, I'm good, I'm fine. I'll guarantee, yeah, that's for a certain kind of culture, certain kind of people.
Right.
But for people that's close to you, I think we could push beyond that. I think that's just for small jib-jab, cheek and talk and stuff like that. But for like real relationships and connections, we got to get past that. We have to really talk of what it is. And that's just my 2 cents on it. What you guys think? What's your thoughts on it?
I've been learning in recent times the reason why we don't really have elder men or even just adults that teach us about these things is because the generation that came before us was taught to repress their emotions. I'm learning that in recent times. Like even just talking to some people in my family, like, well, how come you don't talk to these people about the issues that you have with them? And they're just like, I'm not going to talk to them because it's not going to go anywhere, whatever. And I'm like, okay, I can understand that, but then you're just holding all that in and you're building up resentment, and nothing gets solved. And then you have these same people passing down that action and teaching onto us.
And printing it.
Exactly. So then we therefore never know how to deal with these problems.
But now we are addressed with the challenge. Now we have to address it and be like, yo, we have to talk about it. And it's not an easy feat at all whatsoever.
It never was. That's the thing about it. And it's more dangerous nowadays because you got dudes out here talking about like, oh, I live in Tennessee. I can go get me a gun anytime and shoot up the classroom. That is a real thing. They allow guns to be allowed in classrooms nowadays in Tennessee, so I can't live there anymore.
That's wild.
That's a real thing.
Yeah,
Just
there
happened
was a
recently.
young man.
You don't want your child exposed.
That's another state I can't live in. But in all seriousness, it's just the reality.
And there's nothing out. I'm sorry.
No.
That was it.
All right, now when 8-Ball and MJG roll on you, when 8-Ball and MJG roll down
Yeah,
on
the
you.
feds know what's down in Tennessee.
Unless I retract my statement.
Yeah, but it's like you see, it's so important. Now I've been on. I don't know if I said it on the show, but it's like there's almost nothing more dangerous than a man that doesn't know how to control his emotions and has nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Nowadays, more than ever, we need to learn how to communicate. Cause you guys remember the show Locked Up? No, not Locked Up.
Scared Straight?
Scared Straight.
Love it.
Beyond Scared Straight.
Beyond
Scared Straight, yeah.
Yes.
Beyond Scared Straight with a lot of the kids. What they really needed is just somebody to come in during that time of trouble like this and just be like, yo, it's okay to talk about it, to help them work through those things. Not somebody that's going to be like, oh, why you acting soft for? What you crying for? It's not healthy.
So, but I want to say to you, because I want to see what your thoughts on this, because, you picked this. What's your
I
thoughts?
identify a lot with the coach in this. Shout out to him. He's amazing.
Mighty beer, too.
Yeah, great beer.
That joint crispy, bro.
Yeah, for real. Like the
I can't grow one.
The energy,
I can't grow one.
Yeah.
no, the energy that he took to take time out to spend with the young man to make sure he's okay. That's something that, and this is not even a trauma thing. This is just because I haven't seen this growing up in my own community ever. It's something that I take that role and do. So it's, wherever I do see the young man, barbershop, street, store, wherever, don't roll up on me and be with a bitter face because being background, I'm going to pull up and say, hey, you good? But I felt a lot with the coach of what we have, our responsibility as we're in the roles of now the middle-aged men of America. It's our job to stop our younger brothers from, expressing themselves in a negative way with their emotions and helping guide them with their decisions that they're making, even in the community of public. Beautiful. If we see young men out here in the street and they are huddled up on a corner or whatever, it's okay to pull up and say, hey, young men, I got a job for y'all. I got a slay hustle for y'all. I got an idea for y'all. It's not my idea. It may be a blessing for you. We have to share more of that and have this dialect, this open dialect with the youth. I make sure I have it with my peers, business owners and such every day. But I would love to see and hear us do this more in our communities, what he's doing, this offering this mentorship in the public, where I get it. Some of us guys, we're taught to put our emotions aside. Our mothers, for some reason, wanted to protect us, so they hardened us and told us to toughen up as if that was going to protect, but all that did was harm the next, and, it just kind of set us back with us being vulnerable or able to being vulnerable, using our words, expressing our emotions, so we're not breaking down and causing physical harm, chaos, or pain to someone who doesn't deserve it.
How do mothers teach young boys how to communicate their emotions and that it's okay when they're a single mom and they have to be hardened and it's not okay to be vulnerable? This goes back to what you mentioned before about the idea that a mother, as much as she tries, she can't teach her son how to be a man.
No, she cannot, but she can spend exactly what that son needs, one-on-one time.
Agreed.
Your mom gave you that one, and when I know she did when I met her, because she gave me that one. It's that one-on-one time to listen and engage. Meet them at their level. Hey, what's going on?
I like that. Listen,
And, and
what's your
also
dreams?
find mentors too. There are accessible.
There's mentors out there. There's plenty.
Whether it's getting him into sports,
after school
karate, after school, it's out there.
Dance, kung fu, climbing, Boy Scouts. Not even Boy Scouts. Now it's called the Scouts. They're inclusive now. Shout out to LGBTQ plus.
As long as you can help people learn survival skills, I don't care.
Exactly. Everybody's included now. There's so many programs. Swim. Put them into an athletic sport. Racquetball, lacrosse. There's so many activities to get them into, and there's free activities out there and free help too. But if you can, there's resources through mentorship programs.
You was going to mention something I wanted.
Yeah. I was saying this video is very powerful. It's using your emotions and channeling it for fuel. Meaning and we need more OGs, older men who are in this world and society that live to instruct properly.
Agreed. I was going to say properly because not every OG is a...
But be careful though. Don't listen to what Efficient said to the point where run up. No, not about it. Don't run up on every young person on the corner.
Get a switch pulled on you.
Man.
I got a business adventure for you. You want to make some money?
Yeah.
That was I was thinking that's anything too.
If you in the neighborhood and you know those kids, cool. Just don't go up to some strangers I got an opportunity.
Roll up in the Mr. Salty truck, be like, hey kids, you want to make some money?
Gosh, big word.
Big word.
But speaking of swimming, let's swim right along to the topic of the night.
So that leads into the topic of the night. It is Men's Mental Health Month Awareness. So I did a little bit of research into it from Priority Group. I just want to start off with some statistics. Mental health statistics show that over a third of men, 35%, think that they've had a diagnosable mental health condition at some point in their life. To get a better understanding of how men think and interact with their mental health, Priority commissioned a survey of 1,000 men in the UK. 77% of men polled have suffered with symptoms of common mental health conditions such as anxiety, stress, or depression. 40% of men have never spoken to anyone about their mental health. 29% of those said they were too embarrassed to speak about it, while 20% said there is a negative stigma on the issue. The biggest cause of mental health issues in men's lives are work at a 32%, their finances 31%, and their health 23%. 40% of men polled said it would take thoughts of suicide or self-harm to compel them to get professional help. 1 in 8 men report experiencing symptoms of mental health problems compared to 1 in 5 women. 35.2% of men think that they have had some diagnosable mental health condition at some point in their life. So, what do you think is the biggest causes or the biggest factors? Because it still seems to be a major issue. Of course, not only in the UK, but in the world globally. Why do you think that is? Why is it those numbers are so high?
I'm going to jump out the window and say it's because it's you, yes, you behind the screen, telling a man what it means to be a man without understanding what it means to be a man. Sorry.
He had to get it off his chest.
It was for comedic value, to be honest. But but in all seriousness, it's because how many times, even just in this conversation, it's this is what it means to be a man. You need to man up. It's everybody telling somebody what it means to be a man without acknowledging the burden that men go through and letting them deal and express and communicate what that means. The journey to be a quote-unquote successful man,
not
a lot of people can clearly deal with it.
Well, I mean, it falls underneath the guise of capitalism, of course, if we'll be honest about it.
That is one of them.
But how often are we hearing that men are actually being raised up in a way to say, embrace what your dreams are, embrace what your passions are, figure out who you are first before everything else. Because remember, everything is guided and sent towards acquiring something that we can get this lady. It's kind of like propaganda in a sense.
When you do go after your dreams and when you do go after your ambition, a lot of times they may not be as lucrative and you may not be as successful at it. And then when you're not lucrative and you're not successful, then you're less of a man because you're not lucrative and you're not successful. So that just compounds onto it.
Yeah, but Edison will also tell you, I found 1,000 ways not to make the light bulb. So you're gonna trip, you're gonna fall. It'll sharpen you. It will fortify you. It will galvanize you. Yeah. That's what we need as men. We need to go through the struggle. I can't tell you how many times. Just the other day, I was playing my son on Madden. And how many people...
He was whooping you.
No. I decided... I was whooping him. I mean, he's flying. I'm whooping his tail. But you know what he did? He decided, he was like, go online. I was like, okay, let me go online.
Yeah.
And I made so many people quit. They kept quitting. Remember our 21 rule? Mm-hmm. That doesn't exist anymore, bro. Somebody could be up on you 6 points, and you got 2 interceptions on them, and they want to quit the game. I was like, wow, these kids can't even take it on a physical game to do 4 quarters. Bro, it's a virtual game. And that's what got me thinking.
The mental.
How much are we quitting on ourselves? Not of us, but how much is the man saying, you know what, I did it, but it didn't work, and I'm gonna quit that. Yes, quit that, but shift gears and get stronger for the next thing. You did all the research. You did all the work. Okay, it didn't pan out. Switch to something else. It may not be destiny for you. Keep dreaming, bro. Dreams never stop.
I wanted to let you go before I jump
Go
back in.
ahead.
The work-related aspect, I
With
think.
the 32%.
Yeah, the 32%.
It's 32% being that, and I believe a 31% with finances, which it makes sense. It makes the bulk of it.
I say that, and this will actually go beyond capitalism. So back to the 50s and 60s.
But even before.
But back to the 50s and 60s, when there was mostly just factory jobs, and most of the jobs that you got were within your community or something local, you weren't playing on such a global scale, so it wasn't so much hustle and bustle. But nowadays, there's this hustle to not only get a good paying job, but to get more jobs, to make more money, to get more successful. So essentially, if you're not kind of hustling as a man to find some way to get to the bag, you're not making enough money, so you're a loser there, and B, you're not making enough money, so there's not going to be as many suitors that you can have a pool to choose from. So now you don't have as much women. And then C, you're not successful in society's eyes because you ain't got the bag, you ain't got the education, you ain't got the job. It just all sort of compounds, and you just feel like there's no hope.
Is it really the education? I think it's more
The
emphasized.
perceived of the education, how people see certain jobs. Like, everybody jokes on a plumber until you need a fucking plumber.
Nah, I ain't joking on
But
a plumber. I might be a plumber.
plumbers make bank, especially people who've been doing
I
it
need
for
a
quite some
plumber.
time.
But people don't look at that job as worthwhile as a doctor.
It's because their mind has been conditioned to think a certain way.
Yes.
Right? When you think in the grand scheme of things, like, yo, this guy is very important to our ecosystem
And
as
extremely
a city.
technical and specialized.
We need to have people's
Irrigation working.
Irrigation working.
Do you know what
It's
septic
very
looks
important.
like? Do you know what it looks like when it's backed up?
There's actually a job where people go into septic kind of area. You imagine if one incision is
it's a
made
wrap.
on that thing.
You can
Oh, dude,
It's a
I
wrap.
almost slipped my wrist on sheet metal doing my duck cleaners.
And they're only getting paid probably like $100K. Yeah, that's not enough to me in all honesty. I think people like that should be getting paid $200,000-$300,000.
But like
that's
you said,
high
it's
risk.
the stress of the work versus how much you're making financially for
Yeah.
the job. There's a lot of trade jobs out there, a lot of service jobs, a lot of products you can come to market with that can earn you the income if that's what you're trying to do.
Yeah, but hold on, let's not veer off too much. I want to hear from Maciah.
But what other questions do you may have that to
I want to say,
expound on this.
I want to say what in giving all of this, is there anything that you guys deal with as far as like mental health issue wise that bothers you or it concerns you or something that stems at it?
I can say dealing with depression,
Just talk
right?
about that.
And being when we talked about the clinical diagnosis and all of this, and me not always wanting to take medicine, so doing talk therapy, exercising, meditation. Sometimes you realize that you sometimes get in the way of you.
Mm-hmm.
So you're the biggest enemy.
And you have to sometimes reach out for help to help navigate that. One of the profound things you said, 1 out of 5, right? Seek help, right? Mm-hmm. And that is not just UK, that's also here.
Yeah.
All men around the world, 1 out of 5 seek help. So we're eternally suffering, don't have avenues to get it out, don't have friend groups that you can really talk. Like, let's be honest.
There's a study on that. There was a study on that.
There are friend groups that, when you look at it, a lot of the friends that, we had that episode, it's very surface.
Very surface
How
level.
you doing one day, maybe talk about work, talk about girls, and that's it. But sometimes we're dealing with rooted issues that you need to share amongst people or somebody. And we don't even have that, because sometimes when you come home, you are the therapist for your girl.
Yep.
And she's not the therapist for you.
Yeah.
So you're dealing with her issues on top of yours.
And that's
To
why you
add
need your brother.
to that, with the therapist part, Do you feel like, do you search for a partner now that's willing and able to allow you the space, to allow you the room to talk and express yourself? Or do you still feel like I have to safeguard it still as a man?
I feel like for me, and I can't speak for everyone else, but for me, my role, I feel like, is to find the right avenue, the woman, yes, I would love to share certain things, but I'm being honest, I don't feel like I'm gonna be sharing every single thing. In my mind, my onus is to fix it. Like my logical, how can I get this done? It'd be nice to share with my partner. What I would like from her is to not give me extra added stress on top of dealing with her life issues. That's what I more care for. Would I want a partner to confide with? Yes. But one thing I would want even more than that is a partner that is healed.
That's gonna be hard to find.
Wait.
That's hard to find.
Hold on. Fully healed or healing and is making the strides and
when
efforts,
I say
even
healed,
if it's minimal.
When I say healed, no one is ever going to be 100%. This is just
Never.
human life.
Dream chasers are.
What?
Those who are chasing their dreams.
I used to pray for times like this. Times like this.
They heal, bruh.
But
Then I went to Diddy Kid.
But when it comes to healing, when I say healed, meaning that they're on the course and the pathway. Because I consider that healed on your journey.
Yeah.
You're healed in the sense you're doing the necessary steps to get to the process. Because healing means I feel like, for me, and I know this is just technical terms, healing is what you're basically saying, just play on words. Healed, you're like, listen, I know that these are my issues, I'm working on it, and you're striving to be better.
You acknowledge them.
Healing to me is like, I acknowledge it, and sometimes I'm doing what I need to do. It's like, you're not taking that journey serious, but it's just a play on words. It actually means what you're saying.
I see where you're coming from. I see where you're
I
coming
know you
from.
got some more. What else you got?
I wanted to ask.
For Men's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yes. Has there ever been a dark moment in you guys' lives that you've been through that really mentally challenged you in a way, and like how were you able to cope through it, or how were you able to get through it? Like, because a lot of guys, they suffer in the dark, they suffer in the silence. Like, anything that helped you to persevere and push forward for you to be here today now? Any moments like that? Never?
Well, I'll say for me, nothing. Like, everybody goes, I don't want to say that, I don't want to compare my darkness to everybody else's darkness. I got my own.
Darkness is darkness.
Darkness
Share,
is
baby.
darkness.
share it.
You know, I be in the shadows, baby. But one is obviously actually humor. You know, not to, even when I talk about it in therapy, it's like not to take away from the seriousness or not to deflect. But there's a fantastic quote that I remember from The Brilliant Idiots where Andrew Schultz talks about finding the funny in things.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes, like even during my sessions, I'm talking about something completely super serious and like super annoying, pisses me off or whatever, and then I just throw a joke in there. Not necessarily because I'm trying to not take it serious, but then sometimes you realize how silly things are. You know, it's like, this is stupid.
Is it a coping mechanism?
It's both.
Yes, you're kind of like, in a sense, the way you're explaining it, you're kind of like literally like Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's like, because like for those of you that don't know, like Spider-Man, the reason why he jokes around is like it's his protection mecanison, because he's really,
cope. He's really coping.
He's coping because it's like, yo, imagine if a guy dressed in a rhino suit was like, I'm gonna kill you and steal the money from the bank. Like, whoa, what's
not even.
I mean, Queens, baby. Am I right?
And not even that.
You know, but even as you can see, just the joking around about it right now, but it's the idea that I said in my therapy session, sometimes it's like all you really have is your humor about things. There's a lot of things in this world that bother me constantly. I can go on for hours talking about so many things that piss me off. But then sometimes it's like, man, it's all stupid and everybody's stupid, so I might as well just laugh.
Yeah, that's true. I'm very same with you on there on that. What about you, Fisher?
What's the question?
He's joking. He's joking.
Have you ever been through like a really dark moment?
Yeah,
like,
of
or
course.
like what's helped you to get through or cope or deal with it? What's helped you to overcome the adversity?
I think it's probably the nature that I was born with. having an eggshell mom. You know, one of those moms you gotta
Eggshell mom.
Eggshell mom. You gotta walk on eggshells.
Ooh.
You never know what kind of mood they're gonna be
That's
in.
I hate that.
Never know what kind of
that's,
switch.
That's my kind of childhood there too.
Yeah, so we're growing up with an eggshell parent. You kind of start to, you want to be adventurous. You want to learn and see how other people live, stuff like that. And you realize, man, it's always going to be sunny above the clouds, meaning, you know, it may be gray today, but the sun's still out. There's no reason to turn this whole bad day into a bad day. So I often think of loss. I think that's what it was losing my grandmother, losing family, losing some my aunts. I was just like, you know what? I've lost these women that I love, and they were real influential and inspirational in my life. They told me how to kind of handle myself and what to strive for. And when those things happen, I really just leaned into, okay, well, tomorrow's got to be better. There's got to be more out there. I think chasing that same dream as a child, like, you know, the first time you probably saw the USA flag when you were a kid, and you're like, you know, saying the Pledge of Allegiance, and you remember the smell of the room and everything. You're like, man, what are we saying? How does this go? And you're like, okay. And I think those beginnings of life I still cling to as every new experience. I know the day when I go sign my paperwork for the boat, I'm going to feel great. When I sign on the new building, I'm going to feel phenomenal. You know, they're going to be all new experiences, and I think that has what's helped me when even the DUI stuff, when the jail time stuff, and he knows he took me to court and then took me to lunch afterwards.
Yeah.
And even that, I'm like, yo, I know you ain't got the bread for lunch, I ain't got the bread for lunch, but it's like somehow lunch was provided. Just knowing that we can get to that and get to those moments.
It's more so looking forward to the moments of that, things that are fulfilling.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's
I know
beautiful.
that, you know, all the stuff we hear in the news and stuff is just noise. One day the noise will be quiet and it'll be something else, you know? But I look forward to the calm and the peace, and I try to bring the calm and the peace everywhere I go. So it's not...
And thank you. And
Yeah.
just to save some time, I just want to shoot this last one. Why do you think, and you know, we're running short on time, why do you think the suicide rate is so high amongst men, and how can we really alleviate it to bring it down if there's any hypothetical solutions that you guys may have in mind?
You know what?
I want you guys to talk.
I want you to
No,
get your
because
chance.
eventually I do want to talk about this, and I want to
please
add.
take it
I want to yield the floor because this is a very sensitive
I'm done.
thing. All right, so 800,000 people, right, commit suicide a year.
Wow.
75 to 80% are men, right? In the United States alone, when we look at it, 12 men lose their lives to suicide every day. 4 times higher in America, right? 105 every day to suicide. These numbers, I had a friend in high school who was smiling, cracking jokes, was able to share, laugh, and never knew that he was battling demons inside. And the reason why this is so touching to me is, as men, we need to be able to find a core group, because, all right, you're gonna tell me I don't have insurance, I can't go to therapy. Find some people to talk to. Gain a faith. Even if
That's a big one.
Even if it's in yourself. Even if it's, I gotta believe in myself. I trust in God, and I believe, and all of us have differently, right? And there comes this time when you look at it. As men, if we are going through these issues and we're battling, why not seek help rather than suffer inside? Because we commit the most deadliest types of suicide. We're hanging ourselves. We're shooting ourselves, right? We're not doing the consuming as much pills. We're very violent in how we take our lives. And 800,000, that's
a high
number.
Every year.
And it's growing. 79%. So I just wanted to thank you for the floor. I wanted to give those numbers, and I want you to know there is help. There is this hotline. You can call 988, or you can even text 988 if you're going through something right now. we're not no therapists, but if you're going through something and you want to hit up Peep this W.O.M.
Hit us in the chat, man.
in the chat, and not even the comments, just reviews. Hit us in our DMs, our email. We will put you in the right situation. It is a serious matter.
Serious matter.
We're not going to play with you. We might not even know the answers to help you, but we will find them.
Yes.
Point you in the right direction.
In the right direction.
Yeah, use this as a resource. It's for good minds here to help.
And just to be quick to interject, I feel like when no one has anything left to live for, or no hope, or I think maybe the biggest part of it all, purpose. They don't feel like they have a purpose in life, because as men, we know that this is our purpose, to be the provider, to be this, to accrue these things. And if we don't have that, it's like we're not worth nothing.
Right.
And I think that's the biggest thing. We need to feel as if we do matter. We are people with feelings that have emotions, that we are a somebody with a personality and stuff.
You are somebody.
You are
matter.
Somebody, and you are valued,
You
and you
matter.
do matter.
And you are enough.
Trust me.
Every one of you are enough. Believe that.
We do various topics, but we are building a community. And if you want to be a part of this, please, again, not just like, but really tap in. We answer our emails.
Yeah, tap in. And next year, yo, if y'all tap in enough, we could do a cookout. We could all pull up. Let's do this.
We
I
check
ain't say all that about no
stuff.
cookout. I don't know y'all like that.
I might do the cookout.
I don't know about all
Y'all
that.
can pull
Well,
up.
hold up. Just excluding wise guys.
Yeah, but we'll pop out. We'll pop
Pop
out.
out if y'all got the
out.
Smash Bros, but I don't know about all that.
2015, you know, roughly 9.8 million people in the United States thought about committing suicide.
That's wild.
Men.
That's just men alone.
Just men alone. 9.8.
Thought about it. Had the thought.
Had the thought. And you know, sometimes when men get to thinking, oh Lord.
We act upon it.
So what pushed you to go to therapy?
A lot of things. But that's for another time.
Yeah. Listen, guys, you've heard everything that we delegated out today. Listen, you matter. We do care for you. We want to see you guys alive and thriving well. Listen, if you have problems, if you have issues, do not bite your tongue. Reach out to somebody. Reach out to somebody. Love yourself, respect yourself, and know that better days are coming. Efficient said it himself. Look forward to greater days that will come. There is no joy without pain. Still persevere, still push through. And with that being said, we hope you guys will continue to grow and learn, and tune with us next time on Peep this W.O.M. This is your co-host, Dajonte, signing out.
Hi, my name is Maciah. Will you join us?